Okay, so I wanted to talk about empowering yourself and becoming the best version of you. And we are in a day and age, you guys, we are in 2022, where the consciousness of the planet is rising at the fastest rate in history. So many of us are wanting to go within and be a better version of ourselves, which is such a beautiful thing because every single one of us that does that is uplifting the frequency and the energy of the planet. Don't know if you're aware of that, but yep, you're doing it. You're creating a better world because you are bettering yourself. And I wanted to bring this to your attention because when we start to move into a different frequency, every aspect of our life changes. And it's really important that when you start to empower yourself, you're also looking at your environment that surrounds you, because who you hang out with is who you become. And I always would tell like my niece and nephew this all the time because it is 110% true. Look at friends or look at people you know who got into relationships and they were a particular way. And then they got into a relationship with a person that might be totally the opposite of them. And they either became a better version of themselves being with that person, or they became a much worse person being with that person because and it's a lot of the time it's absolutely unintentional, but our frequency begins to match the other person. So if the other person has a lot of bad habits, you start to slowly see that person become like that other, like their partner. And so the same thing goes with friends. The people you hang out with the most, you become like. So sometimes when we are in a state of wanting to improve ourselves, improve our lives, be that better version, and we are now still hanging out with people that are big partiers or into doing a lot of drugs, they're not being respectful of their body or respectful of the people around them, or they're big gossipers, then we fully can't be the best version of ourselves hanging out with those people. And so I know this to be true firsthand because when I was in my early 20s, probably about 24 years old, I got really deep into self development and wanting to, like, the spiritual aspect of things and wanting to better myself. And I grew up, like, especially my teens, partying a lot and drink a lot of alcohol. And then when I became, 19, 20, 21, I realized that it didn't feel right, but I still kind of just did the things that my friends were doing because I didn't know that there was another way. And I was too scared to think of doing it, so, like separating myself from that. But then when I started to read more empowering books, such as Tony Robbins and Wayne Dyer and Deepak Chopra and stuff, I realized I need to let go of these friends. I need to become the best version of myself. And the only way to do that is to find new friends, but to separate myself from my current ones. So I did. And there was a really long period of time that I was alone. Like I lived alone. I didn't have really any friends. I had like one or two friends. I had a really great support system from my family because they're pretty much like that too. Like they're really into spirituality and everything. So that was really refreshing. But I had to go through this really big transition of like just disconnecting from them. And hindsight, I'm really happy that I had done that because I was really able to soar and become a better version of myself and really figure out who I am. And I mean, that's not a never ending story, right? We're always evolving, always growing, hopefully, and always wanting to better ourselves and to be kinder and more loving with ourselves. And you just really can't do that when you are surrounded by people that are pulling you down. And even though it's a very difficult thing to think about, being alone or removing toxic people from your life, because maybe some of those people, that's my baby, well, baby toddler, because maybe you've had those people in your life for like 30 years, 40 years. And the thing is that, you know what, you guys? Sometimes relationships have just a time limit. Some do. Some you're friends with from kids and you have them for like 25 years. That happened to me. I had friends for like 25 years. And then I realized how toxic and selfish and self absorbed and materialistic some of them were. And I had to cut them out of my life. And I felt a lot lighter after I did because they were just takers and they would always get me involved in a lot of their toxic behaviors and their toxic gossip. And it just was not healthy. So I removed that. And then from that point on, I just started to grow and become a better version of myself. And I'm still growing and going through lots, but I really wanted to touch this with you guys because now in my 40s, I'm still like out, talking to people that I see still don't respect their bodies. They know that they're doing harmful things to their bodies. They know, they tell me. And because they still want to be liked by their peers, they still want to be validated by others, that they are putting themselves on the shelf and doing what they think other people are expecting of them. And this is a huge, huge crime because this is our only life, you guys. Well, in this body. Our only life in this body. And why would we decide to disrespect ourselves and create a life that is where we think that we are doing things to be liked by others? When you start to empower yourself, you start to respect yourself, you start to be the best version of yourself, you are then going to start to attract people that are like you. And so like attracts like, right? So your vibe attracts your tribe. That statement is so very true. And you're going to start to attract people that are healthier, that have the same vision as you, that have the same respect level as you, and that they treat you kind. And then when you start to become successful or you start to become healthier, they are happy for you. They're not trying to bring you down or pull you down, because a lot of people, especially if they're in a lower state of consciousness, abusing their bodies, big partiers, they don't like it when you change. They don't want you to change. They want you to be that same person that they've always known since, maybe you were 15. And all of a sudden you are taking life by the balls and you are getting in the best shape of your life. You're feeling your best. Your vibration, your energy is increasing because you are shining from within. They don't like that. And they will try to pull you down and they will try to discourage you by saying things like, oh, you're not drinking anymore. Well, just come on. Like, this is Sheila's birthday. Just have one drink with Sheila. Come on. Come on. It's her birthday. Like, don't you want to celebrate with Sheila? You're going to let her down if you don't have a drink. Believe me, you guys, I've been there. In my 20s, people would say this to me all the time because I had quit drinking for 5 years. And even to this day, I barely ever drink because it's just not a big interest of mine anymore. And when you start to see those things, I hope the light bulb goes off. Oh, yeah, you know what? This isn't my tribe anymore. And that's okay. You got to also come to the point where it's okay. Take a deep breath in and be like, I'm just going to start doing things that I enjoy. And then I'm going to start to attract people of the same value system and the same beliefs. And then, you know what? I met my friend Samantha. She's great. She does the same thing. So Sheila's having a birthday party. Again, be honest, because when you start to empower yourself, you start to be more honest. You know what? I've got other plans, so I can't go to Sheila's birthday. Sorry, guys. You know what? It's just not your thing anymore. And that's okay. That is okay. Being honest and separating yourself from things that create more havoc in your life and pull that energy from you, disconnect from it, guys. I know it's hard, and that's why I'm doing this video, is because I know some of you are at this place right now. Start to respect your body, start to respect your life. You have something to give to this world. You do. And if you are not allowing yourself to shine because you're dimming your light because you think that's going to serve other people better, because you don't want to shine too bright because it's going to make them feel bad about themselves, you are doing the world a disservice. You shine your freaking light bright. I can't even tell you guys over the years of people I have spoken to that are like, yeah, I dim my light. I totally dim my light because I don't want this person to feel bad or this person to feel bad. But guess what? Those people will never be living their true authentic self. They will never be living a happy life. And so in turn, by you thinking you're dimming your light is going to make them happier, it's not. They have a choice. They can shine that light too. They can empower themselves too. They can change their life and shift their life if they choose to. So we have to be not selfish in an egotistical way, but selfish in the sense that you're taking care of yourself and bettering yourself and being more loving to yourself. And in that sense, you're becoming selfless because you're able to give more. When you just shining your light by being your true self, you're raising the consciousness and the vibration of this planet. You are. And you have purpose and you have so much light to give. So please, please, for the sake of this world and for the sake of your life and for the sake of your family, start living your best life and start shining your light so bright. My little guy just woke up from his nap, so I'm going to go get him.